proclamation. I'm gonna give a little bit of background to it. We was having a fundraiser, and Friend Settlement Coffee contributed to the fundraiser. It was a great fundraiser. It was to give scholarships to students. We gave 9 $1,000 scholarships to students. That was our first year in getting that accomplished. He was telling me some of the problems that he had trying to get his coffee. He's the only coffee manufacturer in our parish. He's the only coffee manufacturer in our parish. He was telling me some of the problems he was getting into getting distributed nationwide. So I said, well, I know somebody can help us. And he'll probably serve the coffee in Washington, D.C. He says, who? So it was kind of late in the evening, and I felt confident enough to call the senator. The senator answers the call and says, what you need now, Randy? I said, I had this opportunity to get this coffee served free of charge to you if you bring it to Washington, D.C. and find a way to help them distribute their coffee. So relationships, the internet, the senator serving the coffee, the Yankees said that it's better than coffee. They didn't know what it was. So I asked the senator what they'd been drinking. He said it wasn't community and it wasn't Friend Settlement. So either way, they had the opportunity to do that. So at this time, I want to read a few things about the background. He started in a one-room at his house in Friend Settlement. That's how this business started. Now keep in mind, 18 states they serve in Friend Settlement coffee. This proclamation says, Livingston Parish President Randy Delatte has officially proclaimed Friend Settlement Roasting Company as the official coffee of Livingston Parish. And I didn't just, go ahead. So we didn't just make words up and just to hear speeches. We practice what we say. So Livingston Parish government serves Friend Settlement coffee. And community doesn't like it, but we serve Friend Settlement coffee. Friend Settlement coffee was founded by Billy LaGrange and his wife Shannon. They started with 1 pound a day in a popcorn popper in a small town of Friend Settlement. Today they operate a full-scale roasting facility in Holden, producing over 2,000 pounds of coffee a day and delivering fresh roasted blends across the region. Their story recently reached the national stage. This locally roasted coffee has been served in Washington, D.C., where U.S. Senator Bill Cassidy publicly praised it for helping him push through long Senate sessions, even sharing his appreciation on social media. Friend Settlement Roasting Company is more than a great coffee, said Parish President Randy Delatte. It's a veteran-owned, homegrown success story that brings pride to Livingston Parish. When something made right here in our community is being enjoyed on the Senate floor in Washington, that's worth celebrating, guys. The company is also deeply rooted in giving back. They partner with schools, churches, and community groups for fundraisers and continue to support local causes across the parish. While recognizing that many small businesses contribute to the success and character of Livingston Parish, Randy Delatte says Friend Settlement Roasting Company stands out as a symbol of what happens when passion, hard work, and community spirit come together. Residents and visitors are encouraged to support this local business and try their signature blends, which can be found in area grocery stores, restaurants, cafes, and through the mobile coffee truck, Espresso Go. From Friend Settlement to Holden, and now all the way to Washington, D.C., this coffee is truly putting Livingston Parish on the map. So if Billy and Shannon can come here, we'll present you with this. Guys, this happens all over our parish, and I didn't realize this myself until I got into this position. And one thing that reaches out, he's a veteran. He's already served his country more. He's just not a guy that's going to sit back.
That's pretty funny.
before we get started on the parish address, I got one more thing to say about the senator. When he said work together, that's what it is, work together. There's a business that was located in Livingston Parish, has a $25 million expansion, and they were ready to move to Texas. They couldn't buy the propane for the expansion that's been trucking in. The town of Livingston has been providing gas to them, but they needed to upgrade their line and couldn't afford it. Melanie Lockwood, if you don't know her, you need to get to know her fast. She is a mover and a shaker. She's an LEDC director, and she called me. We got together, figured out the needs. We was only $2 million off. That sounds like a lot of money, $2 million, but in government, that's not a lot of money. So because of the great working relationship with the parish legislative body, from Senator Valerie Watts on down to each one of the legislators, there was a bill passed that gave it economic development to the governor, and I don't remember the name of the pot, but it's, y'all can help me on the name of the pot, but it's $140 million in there. I needed $2 million. Well, the governor, being who he is, said, well, I can give you one, knowing he could have given me both of them in my mind. So I gave me another $1 million to go look for. So reached out to Senator Cassidy. The same day, he started giving me all kind of data, all kind of places where we can get the money. The big one was the LNG. And so increasing that gas line kept this company here for expansion. They're going to be announcing probably in the next couple of weeks. They were going to Corpus Christi, Texas, where they have a current shop now. So good luck, thank you. So let's get back to the address, okay? I want to tell y'all, Livingston Parish is in good shape, and that's what this is about. And the reason we're in good shape is because our delegation. We have all 9 councilmen here today, except, I take it back, we got 8. One of the councilmen that is missing, is absent, is sick, or he would be here. Those 9 councilmen take more heat than anybody that I ever seen, because they come with a room full of people trying to affect how you're going to vote. And you have to vote for all the people in the parish. You, the council, is the one that I feel are the most underrated and underappreciated people. They work a job, like I said many, many times, that costs them $2,000 probably out of their pocket every month. They get paid $1,200 a month. It easily costs you $3,500 to do that job per month. So that's a true public servant. They're not doing anything but taking beatings and abuse on social media. Those are the things that you wonder why people still put themselves forward. It's because they have it in them. They have it in them to better their community. And I want to tell the council, especially for me right here, from the bottom of my heart, we wouldn't have these successes we're talking about tonight if it wouldn't be for y'all. And I want y'all to know that straight. So I can't memorize this, and there's some important information, so I will be doing a little reading. When we came into office just 19 months ago, we made a commitment to raise the standard for Livingston Parish. We promised to work harder, lead stronger, and deliver real results for our people. We are proving that when we keep our word, we win together. Every success you hear today is not about me, it's about us. We, the parish council, our staff, our partners, and most of all, you, the citizens of Livingston Parish, are making this possible. We're not just fixing roads and drainage. We're putting money back into pockets, protecting families, and building a future worth passing on. Our grant department, Ms. Heather and Amanda are here. Can y'all stand, please? Ms. Heather and Amanda. We have secured over $200 million through 100 different grants in 18 months. Tell me those guys on there. These historic investments have been into infrastructure, drainage, public safety, and growth. We brought in $15 million from the Louisiana Watershed Initiative to clear 3,000 feet of waterways with 40 additional projects approved that we hadn't got started yet. For the first time ever in the history of Livingston Parish, a parish-wide drainage master plan is funded thanks to a $5 million Resilient Communities grant. This is a blueprint to protect our future and hopefully a huge step towards preventing another 2016 flood event. We delivered wins in 2025, safe rooms for Fire District 5, a new sewer system for the airport, a new morgue for the coroner's office, cats, spay and neuter surgical center, litter abatement projects, the Walker Sewer Mitigation Project, and the Cook Road Extension on track to open this year, thanks to Senator Hodges again. We are breaking ground now on major projects: a 13,000 square foot animal shelter, the Delatte Stafford Bridge replacement, drainage upgrades for the town of Livingston, Amite River settlement removal, the parish master plan, and zoning code rewrite, improvements to the Coyell water system. We modernized the parish facilities with a $50,000 LED lighting grant, safer, brighter, and more efficient at no cost to the taxpayers. If y'all haven't passed by the courthouse at nighttime, it's worth the trip. We are thinking about getting a bus and putting them on the bus just to pass in front of the courthouse. It is so beautiful, guys. The before and after pictures that you see on the videos are awesome, but it's better in person. We can change the color of the lights, which we have them purple right now, I think. The point I want to make here, all these things we're talking about is not coming out of our pockets. These are grants, and we're providing services without raising the taxes. We have advanced FEMA projects. In the last 19 months, we had 272 homes in flood-prone areas that were elevated, acquired, or repaired. Pending approvals, we got stabilization for West Coyell, Allen Bayou, Old Mill Road drainage, and parish-wide early warning systems. Again, I don't want this to be the senator show, but she went to the governor and got $250,000 for Allen Bayou. So these are the things that when we say work as a team, that's what it means. I couldn't get that. She could get that. Being one of 39 senators, when she talks, the governor listens. When I talk, he says, "What you want again?" We submitted a $750,000 grant to update the FEMA flood maps. Yeah. This makes development smarter and safer for the next generation. We launched the Drainage Master Plan website so residents can report problem areas and help us prioritize projects across the parish. Again, this is teamwork in action. These wins are only possible because we work hand in hand with the parish council. The planning department had a directive from the parish council. That directive was that it took smart growth to be approved for anything in the future. And so there were some bold moves made by the council, and we're going to get that at the end of this presentation. But having said those things, underneath the planning department, we approved 21 new commercial projects, including restaurants, an RV park, an event center, a fire station, a water well, and a renewable gas site. This growth builds opportunity and strengthens our economy. The council also approved 3 new AT&T towers to boost service and strengthen emergency communication. We issued 31 commercial permits, and growth's still moving fast, guys. We kept accountability front and center. We secured industry growth for Pallet Interstate, investing $1.9 million to expand operations, creating 14 jobs, supporting 26 more indirectly, and retaining 35 positions in Livingston Parish. Pallet Interstate is located in Holden, Louisiana. Representative Shane Mack has done a great job bringing business over there. I want to recognize him for that. And just today, I attended the celebration of Pipe and Steel Industrial Fabricators off Arnold Road, where they announced a major expansion. They purchased 15 additional acres to a total of 20. They beginning construction on a new 100 by 200 shop that will continue to expand over the next 5 years. They also invested in $1.3 million beam profiler that will double or even triple the amount of steel they produce. This expansion is expected to generate 20 to 25 new jobs and is their clear sign of their long-term commitment to Livingston Parish and its people. Parish Council has reinstated the Industrial Development Board with the help of our new superstar, Melanie. This gives us the power to attract new industry, grow our tax base, and do it without burdening the homeowners. We also submitted a census appeal to correct the 2020 undercount. We feel, even though we're the 9th largest parish, population-wise, in the state of Louisiana, they're still not counting all the citizens. We came up with 15,000 additional new names that wasn't counted. Those 15,000 has been submitted, and we have gone through the procedure. Now it's about 6 months to get our census changed. The president hasn't signed the previous census count, so we still have time. Why do you want to change the census? It's about the money. It's about the money. So if they're not counting our citizens correctly, it's a direct relationship on how much money, federal money, you get back. So this is just another example of our aggressive approach to go above and beyond to serve Livingston Parish better without raising taxes. We made history, the parish made history with parish-wide zoning becoming law after 20 years of effort. This sitting council did what they couldn't do in 20 years. This milestone protects property, strengthens our growth, and ensures development works for the people. Teamwork made this possible, with the parish council leading the way. Safety and risk management. If you have discipline, your results are going to be good. That was our motto. We reported 0 property claims, 0 lost time workers' compensation claims, and 1 auto-related incident in 18 months. Unheard of. Unheard of. I got the acronym in front of me. I forget what it means, but we drove our EMOD score to a 0.68. That's your disability and the insurance that you have to pay. That is more than cutting more than half than what you used to pay. So money can go to salaries. Money can go to services. It doesn't go to the insurance department. And look, I know I got some great friends in the insurance before we pay so much insurance. So what did Public Works do? Well, Public Works does most of our maintenance, and they've already did over 3,502 square feet of roadside ditching, 58,000 feet of lateral ditching, and we installed 203 culverts. I can go on down and down and get into the statistics, but I'm going to bore you. And I want to get to what is really, really come here to here, in my opinion. I want to talk about opioid before I go there. Opioid abatement, this administration was very fortunate. They came in when the lawsuit got settled and there was money available. So working with the school board, working with the sheriff, working with the council, we directed $220,000 into schools for prevention, education, and treatment. We partner with Students Against Destructive Decisions and summer camps to reach youth. We distribute Narcan kits to more than 300 citizens. We equip fire departments with AEDs, Lucas device, and a real-time overdose dashboard. We received an email week before last saying that one of the AEDs had already saved someone's life, one person's life. That was worth it right there. This had happened, 3 months ago is when the council awarded this to the fire departments. And there's one life's already been saved. And to me, that's a win. Homeland security and emergency preparations, ready and resilient. That's the motto. We activated the EOC, the Emergency Center, in September of 2024 for Hurricane Francine. We completed Emit River desnagging using Hurricane Ida funds. We secured funding for the Lord Stafford Bridge, began construction. We upgraded the EOC and added 2 emergency response vehicles through donations at no cost to taxpayers. We partnered with ExxonMobil on a 2-day pipeline rupture exercise with 70 participants. We want to be ready, and we want to be ready before it happens. We want to be able to anticipate it. Animal shelter. Animal shelter, believe it or not, is probably the most single thing that got me elected to where I'm at. It was, in my opinion, low-hanging fruit. So I campaigned hard on bringing it back to Livingston Parish. Boy, I wish I wouldn't have did that. Guys, it takes so much work on that, and everybody's got a different opinion how to do it, and nobody wants to fund it. So now you got to find the money. And we was able to find the money. This administration and this council found the money. I want Miss Maurice Durbin, if you would mind standing up for a second. Miss Maurice is taking this animal shelter, and she should get all the credit or most of the credit. We have a local contractor, Steve Macklin, that's well-qualified building, the most beautiful building we're going to have in this region. But everybody's got a different idea on how it needs to be done to take care of the animals. And as I said, Ms. Durbin is the expert. So far this year, we stopped 38 aggressive incidents, investigated 20 bite cases, resolved 39 cruelty cases, and cared for 78 pets when their owners were jailed. Talking about Mr. Steve Macklin, it's a 13,000 square foot animal shelter he is building, and we're doing that without raising the taxes. So that is a win for families and pets. But what's the great part about this? Steve Macklin lives off of 190 in Livingston, where you can 100 yards see the building he's building. So when I call him and say, what's taking so long? He says, he's able to answer me. He said, well, right now it's raining, what you want me to do, or something else. But litter abatement. Miss Linda, where's Miss Linda at? Miss Linda, would you stand? The theme in here is about teamwork, like the senator said. Litter abatement is just not parish government. The sheriff is involved in litter abatement. We couldn't run litter abatement without the sheriff. We couldn't run litter abatement without keeping Louisiana beautiful. We couldn't run without keeping Livingston beautiful. These are all different organizations. The common denominator, she belongs to every one of them. That's the common denominator. We logged 224 hours, continue to stand. We logged 224 hours through probationers in Albany and Denham Springs, collecting 118 bags of trash. We logged 1,044 hours and collected 1,918 bags of trash through 43 probationers in the 21st judicial system. So what does that mean, those 43 people? They were ordered to perform litter service by the court. Normally that would upset someone. It would upset me that I have to go pick up. One of the things they have to do is write a letter after they pick up litter. And they are some of the most touching letters that you ever heard. And it made some of these people that had this community service now join our program and help and do it on a voluntary basis. That's a win for the Livingston Parish, and thank you, Ms. Linda, for that. And again, I want to make clear that's along with the sheriff's litter detail. We work hand in hand together. We collected 650 tires on a free tire recycling day. 650 tires. This is no longer in the ditches of our roads. We're preparing for recycle and hazardous waste day on November the 1st, 2025, funded by a grant that Ms. Linda has secured. Most everything I'm talking about is funded by grants, guys, or cuts in services somewhere else. We hosted, to have a footprint, you got to be able to have relationships, to have a footprint in politics. We hosted the first ever Livingston Parish Day at the Capitol, bringing parish leaders and state partners together. Derek and Miss April done a wonderful job putting that together, and I appreciate y'all for that. Very good. We hosted our executive leaders luncheon with Sheriff Jason Ord, District Attorney Scott Perilou, Assessor Jeff Taylor, Clerk Jason Harris, and Coroner Dr. Ron Coe. We've proven that working as a team is the engine of our progress, and we want that to be our thing. Look, we're never going to always agree on everything. That's healthy. But to work as a team, that's what this theme has got to be. We investing in tomorrow. I mentioned earlier, we awarded 9 $1,000 scholarships at the first Randy Delatte Scholarship Ceremony. This is a real investment in the next generation of Livingston Parish leaders. Someone has to step up where you're sitting at in your chair, in your seat today. Someone's going to come and follow you. You want that person to be prepared and to know what the issues are that we're facing. We don't want to make the same mistakes over and over. If we make a mistake, make it a new mistake, something different we haven't encountered. But this is part of it. This one is something special for me. It may not mean nothing for a lot of people, and I'm going to tell a story about it. But public communication and transparency is important. That's how the citizens know what's getting done. We honor a legacy, in my opinion. We have opened a media studio, and we're going to call it the Jeff McHugh David Media Studio. And this is to get all our interviews out, all our information, and it's going to be a room in an existing building. We honored Jeff McHugh David, publisher of the Livingston Parish News for 38 years of owning that, and who has now passed away, and his son has inherited. We are doing this with the approval of the son and his wife. What I want to tell you about Jeff David, a long time ago, there used to not be cell phones. Like, what, 15 years ago, 20 years ago? I don't remember. Used to not be cell phones. So newspapers is where you got your news from. That's where you got your news. So Jeff David was a campaign manager for Lewis Lambert, who was running for governor. I was working as a carpenter for 1098, where Johnny Hodges was the BA, and he was going to be the labor secretary if Lewis won. So we had a good relationship. I put up all the signs, they did all the talking. So when that relationship, Lewis didn't win, and we went on separate ways, I got lucky enough to get elected in 1992 as police bureau president. In 93, one of the reporters for the Denham Springs News and I couldn't agree. So being 36 years old, thought I knew everything in the world, I go to Jeff, I'm thinking that's my best friend, we got this relationship. I said, man, you gotta do something with this. You know, she's killing me, she's doing X, Y, Z, you know. He says, well, I think she's doing a good job. You got your side, she's got her side. I said, well, if you want to go ahead and get in a war, I said, I guess we're gonna. You know, I'm doing my famous Odom Graves impersonation. So he said, well, I welcome that war. He said, I buy my ink by the barrel. He said, how you buy your ink? I said, I buy it by a ballpoint pen. He said, well, I don't think you want to go to war with me. Well, we got back on the same page. He made me understand what's top and what's bottom. To do a recap, in just 19 months, we secured over $200 million in grants, and that's transforming roads, bridges, drainage, and emergency response. We funded the first ever drainage master plan, a blueprint to protect families for generations. We rebuilt some of our infrastructures, bridges replaced, overlays completed, ditches clear. waterways clear, and technology updated to keep us moving forward. We held the line on the safety and accountability with 0 property claims, 0 lost time incidents. We instituted smart growth strategies and opportunity with parish-wide zoning, finally in place. New businesses is open and the industry is expanding. We invested into the people, scholarships for the youth, life-saving tools for first responders, new partnerships to fight the opioid crisis head-on. We cleaned up our communities. Tens of thousands of bags of litter removed, thousands of hours towards fighting litter, which is also helping our drainage. There are just some of the wins. This is proof that Livingston Parish is not standing still. We're moving forward. And we're not finished yet. One of our goals for 2026 is to bond money to begin an aggressive road program to overlay 130 miles of roads a year in our parish. Now, what that means is we had currently been doing about 12 miles a year. And this year we got lucky and got pretty close to 30 miles. But that hasn't been done in the past. And to go from 12 miles a year to 130 miles a year, that's going to really make a difference in our parish, guys. And that's another job. The council's got a hard job to determine how much they want to bond. But we are going to be able to bond money and not be in debt where you have to take money out your budget. We're going to have money coming in to pay for the bond. And now, for what I consider the biggest win of 24 and 25, our floodplain management has finally started turning the tide for Livingston Parish. When we took office, we knew floodplain management had to be a priority. One of the first things we did was bring in a crucial hire. It was someone that I knew personally, it was Miss Cindy O'Neill. We considered her an expert in this field and already had a strong relation with she had already had a strong relationship with FEMA officials. Alongside Ms. Kim Hemel, a member of our staff, they rolled up their sleeves and went to work. FEMA had identified 200 violations against Livingston Parish. So this is called a Community Service Rating, or CSR short. What that amounted to is something like a fire rating. So when you buy your flood insurance, the higher your number is, the more insurance you pay. We live on the coast, so we pay a lot of insurance. In 2016, we got kicked out the program, and we was missing in the program all these years. Historically, when we were in the program, we were never more than a 9. When we came in, we were at 10. So it was imperative that we do something about our rating. So we went to work 18 months. Through the partnership of our team, we was able to clear that. We received a letter of last week saying because of the dedication of our staff, the leadership of Cindy and Kim, and the support of the Parish Council, we have jumped to a Class 7. So what does 7 mean? That's just a number, right? 7 ain't just a number, guys. The average homeowner is paying $5,000 a year in flood insurance. 7 is a 15% discount. That 15% discount adds up, particularly when it's not a one-time discount. It's per year, So if you happen to live 10 years or 15 years, every year you live and paying that insurance, it keeps piling up. So someone does the quick math on, that's major money there. Now, that's pretty good. It's real good. But like someone said on social media, 1 out of 5. Guess what? Miss Cindy is way ahead of y'all. And Miss Kim. We feel next year come around, we might be a 5. We that close. And the council's already closing those loopholes up, making those things happen. So I want to say this, and I want to say it clear. Just imagine every year over $1.2 million coming back into the pockets of the citizens that have not been in this program are now getting that direct money back. It doesn't go to the parish. It doesn't go to a special cause. It goes to the citizen that has to buy and purchase the insurance. So that can't be a bigger win than that during this administration. And when we deliver these wins that no one thought was possible, this makes Livingston Parish even stronger. And this is only the beginning. And the reason I'm telling you this, guys, I'm a person that gets passionate and I get emotional. And that's why I made Representative Max sit over here. He's the only one that gets worse than me. It makes you emotional when you come up and you have a large responsibility and the people want you to deliver. And not everybody can be a Senator Cassidy. There's only 2 in the state of Louisiana. There's only 100 in the whole nation. It takes a special person to do those things, and when they heart and souls in it, they're heart and souls in it because it's their family. It's what they do every day. It's what you do 24 hours a day. My legislative delegate protects us. They there every day. They say, this is available, this is here. That, I don't know if I could even begin to do this job without my local legislator. And they get along together. For the first time ever in the history of Livingston Parish, we operate as one unit. So if the sheriff's got a priority, parish president's got a priority, the school board's got a priority, the mayor's got a priority, and you got 15 people going to see that, then the government, state doesn't know what to do, senator doesn't know what to do. Which one's the priority? Everybody's got a different priority. Representative Roger Wilder led the move to fix that. He got everyone together and says, look, there's no way we can succeed this way. And he did something no one thought was possible. He got everyone to sign a petition saying this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, this is number 4. The new Secretary of DOTD has just taken office a week ago. This morning at 8 o'clock after the tune-in show, me and Representative Wilder was in Leonard Day's office. We had gave him the priorities. We had told him what we wanted. He understood what it was, and he says he's going to get right on it. He even mentioned that I got a good friend, Randy, that knows you well, is going to be down there. And Archie Chase on, if you know Archie. So Archie's going to be, he's second in command now. So to me, that's what makes this work, guys. So in closing, I want to thank you. Livingston Parish, look at what we accomplished together. This is together, guys. This is what we've got to feel good about, together. Roads and drainage, public safety, protecting families, planning for growth, real results delivered, and we're only getting started. But let's be clear, none of this happens alone. Every win we had has been built on relationships, strong relationships, with our parish council, our department heads, our employees, law enforcement, first responders, businesses, nonprofits, our state and federal delegation above all, the people of Livingston Parish. When we move together, we do more than build bridges and dig ditches. We move money back into the pockets of our people. We protect families. We save lives. We build a future worth passing on. This momentum is real. The wins are undeniable. And because we stand together, because of the relationships we build, we will keep Livingston Parish stronger, safer, and a leader for Louisiana. Thank you. God bless you. And may God continue to bless Livingston Parish. Thank you.